Welcome to the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. Digital marketing essentials and next-level tactics. From off-site and on-site optimization to persuasive selling and everything in between. You'll learn actionable tips on what it takes to outright and outrank your competition.
Welcome back to another episode of the SEO.co podcast. Today, we're wrapping up the series, Bad Content and Blogging Habits to Avoid. We're going to wrap up with number 5 as it deserves an episode all of its own. Number 5, limiting your content to newsjacking and content borrowing. Let's get one thing straight here. Newsjacking can be a valuable part of your content strategy as long as it's only a part of it. Newsjacking, the process of scouting the news for articles relevant to your business and repurposing, or worse, duplicating, the article to be valuable to your readers, is useful because it takes a smaller degree of effort than most articles, since the bulk of the content already exists in some form, and because of its timeline and relevance. However, once you've newsjacked a series of articles, you might be accustomed to the workflow and proceed to newsjack the majority of your new post. The same habit can occur when you browse your competitors' blogs for inspiration. Rather than reading up on new material, thinking about it, and brainstorming your own new topics, you might get used to cherry-picking new topics directly from outside sources. While these habits might allow you to skate by Google's algorithms and impress your users for a limited time, if this represents the entirety of your content strategy, you'll be setting yourself up for destruction. You'll never be able to become an authority in your respective field if you don't have a sizable contribution of unique content, material, facts, and opinions that users can't get anywhere else. Feel free to leave newsjacking as a component of your strategy, but don't neglect the importance of originality. Now it's time for some bonus bad habits to avoid. Avoid number 6, writing more than you read. This one's a critical mistake of writers everywhere, not just content marketers. The only way to get better at writing is to read. Otherwise, you'll fall into a closed-minded, repetitive way of thinking and writing, and you'll never learn to surpass your own skills. Reading opens the door to new opinions, new ideas, and new styles of writing that can influence you and help you grow in the right directions. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in stagnation. And it's easy to lose the habit of reading, especially as you become more versed in your field of expertise and more confident in your abilities to churn out blogs. But even the most conservative industries change often, and staying up to date with the latest content can keep you ahead of the curve. Make sure you subscribe to several major publications, including blogs of your competitors, industry news sites, and national news sites. Read over several articles a day if you can, and try to learn something new in every article, even if it's just a fact or a new means of presenting information in your body copy. Number 7, don't use the same format every time. Content marketing has evolved beyond the need to replicate the same written article format with every post. While written content is still valuable because of the sheer number of scannable text that's presented in major search engines, users crave more integrated experiences. For example, instead of posting a traditionally written article, you could write a step-by-step guide with images accompanying each step of the process. Or you could break the article down into bullet point reminders and post an accompanying video to demonstrate the process. Experiment with different types of formats for your articles and content as well. Instead of relying on a step-by-step guide format, a list-based format, or a header and subheader-based format, you could try varying it up by including new formats for each new entry. And number 8, make sure to listen to your audience. Your content marketing strategy can't remain stagnant. It needs to grow to meet the needs and desires of your customers. After writing for long enough, it's easy to develop a habit of focusing on your own means of production rather than on your readers' perspectives. However, this can be damaging to your bottom line. The most successful content marketing programs on the web are the ones that actively take the readers' opinions into consideration. Feel free to ask your users directly what they like and what they don't like about your blog and what they'd like to read about in the future. You can even go a step further and conduct formal surveys to learn more about your audience and cater to them. When you write with your readers in mind, you'll be far more successful in the long run. Habits take a long time to form, so it's only natural that they'll take a long time to break. These habits can result in a serious burden for your content marketing campaign, so it's essential you get rid of them eventually, but try not to get discouraged if you find it difficult at first. Instead of trying to break them all at once, focus on one habit at a time and make a series of gradual changes to improve upon that area of your campaign. When you break the process down into a series of manageable, actionable steps, you'll have a much easier time triumphing over these bad habits and restoring your content marketing strategy to its former glory. And that's all we've got for this episode. Thanks again for listening to the SEO.co podcast, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for joining us on the SEO.co podcast. We appreciate your time. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show and visit SEO.co for more resources based on today's topic, as well as access to more podcast episodes to help you improve your site's long-term SEO success.